Ladies and gentlemen, people of social media, 'tis I, Sam, the dude that makes drums over here. Um, First off, I really need to get a haircut. I know, I got one scheduled for tomorrow. But I was talking to a good friend of mine, Kyle, on the internet recently. Kyle owns a pile, rhymes, of our drums. He was like, dude, where's all the live streams? Like, you been busy? Come on, what's going on? And I said, yes, actually, I've been very busy, but you know what? You're right, Kyle. You're awesome, and I should do some live streams. So I thought perhaps I would jump on here today and screw together some knobs. Yeah, you heard me right. We're screwing together knobs. This isn't super fun, but it needs to be done, and it's one of the few repetitive tasks that I can kind of do whilst I'm doing nothing, or it's at the very least quiet. Let's put it that way. Turn my Bluetooth off. Better? So, let's talk about these knobs. What do you say? I got some knobs here. This is actually, nobody else out there may give a flying fuck about this, but I care very much. I think it's really cool. So, I had these made. If you recognize this shape, it should be familiar to you. It's the classic HHG lug, but it's been modified to be our new tone control knob. Now, I don't have a lot of these at the moment. This is just hello, people. I see we got two homies joining us. For anybody that just joined, I'm making some tone control knobs today. And what I was just explaining was what these are. So over the last several years, I've been adding internal tone control mechanisms, internal dampeners, mufflers. They got a lot of different names. It's a little thing inside your drum that puts a felt pad against the inside of your batter head of your drum. And I love those because I see everybody in the world's muffling their drums now. They're using big fat tone converter, what are they called? Big fat snare drum, the rings, all kinds of stuff. Yes, Kevin, I stole stuff out of your shop. Stole a whole bunch of shit out of your shop. What might you be referencing? This Loctite Red? There's no Loctite Red in your shop anymore. You're not allowed to have that shit. Anyways, so tone controls, mufflers, they got a lot of different names. Inside the drum, muffles the head from the inside of the drum. And over the years, I've been putting these in the drums for a long time, and I had to take a hiatus from putting them on the drums, simply because I did not have time to make the knobs. I had been making the knobs in-house on my CNC machine, and it was a giant pain in the ass. It just took way too much time. So I put a whole bunch of money into getting these made. I've got a limited kind of like sample run of them here, and the other step, or the only step that I really need to do is first I make these, which are a 5mm stainless steel rod, chamfer both ends, and then these get screwed together. That is going to be the extent of what I'm doing today. But when I screw these together, I want this to be a permanent connection because the way this is designed to work is you turn the knob, it turns the threaded rod, and it moves the tone control mechanism on the inside. So, red Loctite, permanent Loctite. Just going to do a little dab of that stuff on here, and then screw this together. And then once that dries, these shouldn't ever come apart unless you really, really, really need them to come apart. Yeah, you probably could be doing this, eh, Kevin? Well, there were several. Let me throw it out there like this, Kevin. So there were several parts to this. Before I hand the process over to you, I like to know what I'm handing over. You know what I mean? I like to understand the process from beginning to end. I'm currently writing a operations manual chapter about the construction of these tone control knobs. That's a thing that I'm doing for anybody that's watching that's not Kevin. I'm writing an operations manual for how to build all these drums, because for entirely too long, all of this has existed in my brain, and I'm starting to write that all down. So to your point, Kevin, I wanted to do this at least one time just to see Couple of things. First off, what I needed to do to prepare these rods to have them screw together. Didn't know if I needed to chamfer them or not. Looks like, yes, I do need to chamfer them. Secondarily, I wanted to change the length of these rods. I ended up going with two different lengths. I have a 3-inch and a 2.5-inch, which I think should service almost every one of the. It should hit the broad bases of um, all of the shell thicknesses that we do. Some idea. Joe Curtis Leverage, thanks for stopping in. Brian Davis, what's up, bro? We're screwing knobs, Brian and Joe. I appreciate you guys stopping by. How are you guys doing today, by the way? It's a beautiful sunny day here in Pennsylvania. It's hot as balls. Excuse my French, but it's pretty spicy out there. A lot of humidity happening. And I have to go to my day job here in approximately 24 minutes. My wife and daughter are at the amusement park, so I'm free to screw my knobs as much as I'd like to screw my knobs. Oh, Brian, yeah, Dallas. Oof, that's good to hear, Joe. Good to hear you're having a good day. Dallas, Texas. I would not want to be in Texas in general. The heat down there, man. Like, as time has gone by, I've started to realize that I prefer, I like winter in Pennsylvania simply because when it's cold as hell outside, you can do something about that. You can put on some extra clothes, right? You can warm yourself up. When it's a billion degrees, you don't have a lot of options. It's kind of like go find yourself some air conditioning, or that's it. It's the only option. Couldn't find the Beavis and Butthead. Accurate. So, Kevin, I think actually I'm glad you stopped in here, Kevin, to stop me from spending my time screwing knobs together, because that definitely sounds like a Kevin task to me. So, knob screwing happening. ENZ Print Co. What's happening? How are you guys doing? 9 p.m. in Manchester. Woo! Yeah, I would hope it's not quite as warm in Manchester as it is in Dallas, Texas. On a side note, seeing as you're from across the pond, what do you think of Peaky Blinders? It's like my favorite show that I've been watching recently. I feel like I know a lot more about England having watched that show. You guys still like smoke a lot of cigarettes and murder a lot of people over there? Or are things different now? But Kevin, yeah, to your point, I don't think I'm going to do very many of these. I think I'm just going to do a couple of them, and then I'm going to call it quits. Because this is absolutely something for you to be doing. Because I hate this already. I've only done 6. This is my 7th knob that I'm screwing. Let's screw all these knobs together. Brian Davis. So that's what I will tell my girlfriend when I want to get busy. Yes, I oftentimes say to my wife at night, would you like to screw knobs? Are you busy? Would you like to screw our knobs together? Shane, what's up, man? Appreciate you stopping by, brother. It's filmed literally 5 minutes from me. Yeah, I love that show. It's very good. 10 out of 10, Peaky Blinders. Anybody watching hasn't watched. I started watching it a couple years ago when it came out. I think that the most recent season is going to be the final one, which is a little bit disappointing. Kind of bummed on that. Yeah. Shane, stop. Shane Long, everybody, is here from Melbourne, Australia. I love it when we get a little bit global with these live streams. It's always super fun. So for anybody that's just joining, there's only 5 of us watching here, so I don't think there's a lot of people that have just joined. But internal tone control mechanisms, we make them. I make them. Me and Kevin make them. We don't buy them. We kind of make some of the components. I have a manufacturer that runs a CNC machine that makes these fantastic knobs, and then we make kind of the rest of it. Watch Peaky Blinders since the start. Love it. Yeah, it was. Did she actually die? The actress that played Polly? I think did she die in real life? I think I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's all like my favorite character on that show is Tom Hardy. Fucking love Tom Hardy in that show. He's fantastic. So good. He's like the aloof Jewish gangster guy. I love him. Kicks ass. But yeah, tone control knobs, thing inside your drum, makes your drum go from sounding like this to kind of like this. They're pretty dope. What good looking knobs? Thank you. I've always been complimented on my knobs. One of my high points. So I'm just gonna make, I think, like 16 of these. And then I'm gonna call it a day. And then Kevin, you can come over here and do the rest. Oh, was he? That's dope. He was in the what's his name? Cillian Murphy was in your pub. That's pretty dope, man. I would probably go get an autograph. The one part of this, speaking mostly to Kevin, my business partner here, another thing was, where are we going to put these, right? That's a quick question I had for myself. Like, oh, we're going to make all these knobs. I need a place to put these knobs. So, in true Sam fashion, I made hold on. I'll be right back. I need to get a pair of pliers to screw my knob. This was a little tough. It's a tough knob. Screwing these knobs all morning. I haven't encountered a tough one until now. Don't like a tough knob. Every once in a while, tough knob shows up, so you gotta break out the channel locks. See, this is a speed bump that I think you would have hit, Kevin. Oh, sorry. Let me elaborate, Kevin. I've solved the problem of where we're going to put these. I made a beautiful wooden case. It's like kind of just picture like a chunk of custom-made like pegboard, just a piece of white melamine plywood with it's really far in there, really far. Piece of white melamine plywood with a kind of box built around it, so that it will so that these can sit nicely in there. Yeah, Joe, I'm monkey wrenching my knobs. Can you ask my day job, ENZ Print Co? You absolutely can ask my day job. I fix power lines. This building drum shit, man, doesn't pay the bills. Wouldn't recommend it. Not a very profitable business to get into. But yeah, so I've been a lineman for like 15 years. I jumped into that right out of high school, and yeah, when the lights go out in the big Tri-County area of Blair, Huntington, Evansburg, or I guess what would Evansburg be? What county is that? I forget what county it is. Anyways, like if the lights go out, people call in. They say, "Hey, I don't have electricity." Um, internal lighting for the case. That'd be pretty dope. That would be cool. I'll show you the case here in a minute. I got just a couple more of these to make, and then I'll be done for the day. I didn't really have much time to get much else. Like it's 3:43 and my shift starts. Cambria, thank you. Anyways, if the lights go out in any of those 4 counties, somebody calls in and says, "Hey, my lights aren't working." Dispatch guy calls me and says, "Hey, this dude's lights aren't working. Can you go fix them?" I drive up there and fix them. If I can. If I can't fix them, I call said dispatcher guy back and I say, "Hey, dispatcher guy, you're going to need 5 guys out here. It's more than I can handle. You have to have the power on to make the drums." That is the key. You do have to have the power. Nothing I can do in here without electricity. Yeah, so I made a pretty sweet box for you, Kevin. Kevin's the assembly guy. He's the assembly lead, if you will, and does all the shipping, packaging, social media, and a bunch of stuff. But whenever I get a wily hair up my ass and decide to add a new part to the process, Kevin is the one that bears the brunt of my innovation. Because he's the one that puts everybody's drums together. So we're gonna have these. We're gonna bring these tone control knobs back sometime soon. I'm still working on the process a little bit. There's still some bugs that need ironed out because I didn't like the way it worked before. It's clunky, it's difficult, they're hard to install, all kinds of things. And I've got some thoughts and ideas around that. But I made a beautiful little box. Of course I made it in CNC. It's extra fancy, and it separates the knobs into short and long versions. Because of course we make all different shapes and thicknesses of drum shells. So I need to make a variety of different lengths of these knobs to accommodate for the different shell thicknesses. But the little thing I made, constant improvement. Yeah, man, constant improvement. You're either growing or you're dying. It's an old axiom I swear by in the world of business. And changing things constantly. So it's kind of what I do. But nice little box for these. Now the box, of course, is perfectly measured to fit in one of the toolbox drawers in the assembly station. We have a really beautiful drum assembly workbench area that Kevin is the captain of. It's pretty nice. And I found one of the drawers where there was a big empty spot, measured said big empty spot, and made a case for these that will fit in that spot. So here's what I'm doing. I'm screwing my knob on my rod. You got the rod part, you got the knob part, and you screw them together. A little bit of Loctite. What I love about these knobs is that they will, Kevin knows exactly what I mean. He's watching me. They'll perfectly match the lugs that we use because they are basically the lug base of our signature single point lug. It's just that minus the cross-board hole. It's got these nice little, like, they're kind of hard to see on camera, but it's these little kind of like radius scallops, detents. They're nice. It's like, could I have bought like a nice used car for the price that I paid to get all these knobs made? Yes. Is it worth it? Also, yes. Oh, good, Paul. I'm glad to hear that, man. So today's live stream is brought to you by me being incredibly lazy, not wanting to set up two cameras, and literally just sitting my cell phone on a tripod. That's it. I didn't feel like fucking around today. I almost didn't do this live stream, but I was like, fuck it, gotta do it anyways. Gotta make these knobs, might as well take this opportunity to talk to some of you lovely people. So thanks for stopping by. I think that's all I'm gonna do. Here, let me show you what I got done. I got 16 of these beautiful knobs all put together. And they're ready to go in my nice little holder. And then hopefully we can start putting them on drums pretty soon. I got a couple, like I said, I have a couple of details that need ironed out about the installation of them, the placement of them, how we do that repeatedly. There's a lot of variables there that I need to kind of solve for zero, if you will. I'm gonna go polish my knob. ENZ Printco, you polish your knob, my friend. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for stopping by. Let me show you guys my my knob case. Anybody like to see my knob case? Come with me. We shall look at my knob case. It's pretty dope. I'm excited about it. Should I be excited about it? No, but do I have an issue? Here's my motherfucking knob case. It's the depth is a little bit deeper than all of the knobs, and everything can hang in there. And then the holes on the top are just slightly oversized so that the knobs just fit in there with a nice slip fit. And then this thing is like 10 by 14 and a quarter. It'll fit perfectly in the bottom drawer of the assembly bench, which should make the workflow pretty easy. Just open the drawer, grab the knob, Bob's your uncle. I think I'm going to get out of here, everybody. I'm going to turn this live stream the fuck off and go to work because it's 3:49. I got 10 minutes, then I got to go fix some power lines for the local power company. But I do appreciate everybody swinging by today. Let's do more of these. What do you say? One question. How do you like that Grizzly dual drum sander? Fucking love it. It's a fantastic sander.